Hi, this is Big Bear, and today I'm going to read you Little Miss Scary by Roger Hargreaves. Little Miss Scary lived near the top of a mountain in a house called Spooky Castle. When it was dark, she would creep into the valley below, making sure nobody saw her. And there she would wait quietly until somebody came along. And when the right somebody came along, she would tiptoe up behind them, open her mouth wide and shout, "Boo!" And do you know why Little Miss Scary did this? For fun. You see, she loved to scare people more than anything else in the world. And she was very, very good at it. She scared them stiff. Boo! She scared them out of their wits. Boo! She even scared them right out of their socks. Boo! About a week ago, Mr. Noisy went to see his friend, Mr. Jelly. Mr. Noisy was worried because he hadn't heard from his friend for ages. When he got to Mr. Jelly's house, he knocked on the door. Spookily, the door swung open by itself. "Hello!" cried Mr. Noisy as softly as he could, which for you or I would have been shouting. And then he heard a chattering noise coming from the bedroom. Mr. Noisy found poor Mr. Jelly hiding under his bed. His teeth were chattering in fear. "Whatever's that?" began Mr. Noisy, and then he remembered himself. "Whatever's the matter, Mr. Jelly?" "It's Little Miss Scary," chattered Mr. Jelly, trembling in fear. "She keeps jumping out and shouting 'boo' at me." Mr. Noisy made Mr. Jelly a cup of tea, calmed him down, and told him what they were going to do. Just as it was getting dark, they hid behind a bush beside the lane that led up to Mr. Jelly's house, and they waited. They saw Little Miss Scary's shadowy figure creeping past them. There she is. Can you see her? She's so naughty. Then Mr. Noisy and Mr. Jelly crept out from behind their hiding place. They tiptoed up behind Little Miss Scary, and at the top of their voices they shouted, "You're right, boo!" Now, the top of Mr. Noisy's voice is a very loud place indeed. So loud that Little Miss Scary leapt 5 feet into the air, and when she came down, she ran for her life. She didn't stop running until she was hidden under her bed, in her bedroom, in Spooky Castle, at the top of the mountain. "I don't think you'll be seeing her for a long while, Mr. Jelly," chuckled Mr. Noisy. "Mr. Jelly? Mr. Jelly?" But there was no sign of Mr. Jelly either. Mr. Noisy chuckled and walked back to Mr. Jelly's house to have a look under Mr. Jelly's bed. The end. I hope you enjoyed that story, and I'll see you again soon.